Right. Since you have been informed on that last video that you are committing rape, murder, and torture on the regular while being possessed, I would like to encourage you to develop your sense of justice using that knowledge. So, if someone told you that Garrett used a time machine to possess you so that you could rape someone in your household or someone you yourself are possessing, which, by the way, you are raping those people. Uh, so, who should be punished in hell or disparaged in this situation? Uh, a 13-year-old boy or someone who is supposed to be responsible for the control of their own body but was manipulated with a time machine? And how can the parents possibly control this situation if that's your go-to to blame? How do they control the time machine? Um, and does any of the do it does any of these people involved deserve a path to redemption? Remember that Garrett accidentally went insane at 13 years old because he programmed himself to enjoy suffering. He was motivated by his fear of suffering and an obsession with sex, which was a concept that was not explored before. Uh, he was the first to program sex. Um, it just went way too far, and he went insane. I want you to keep in mind that every time you make a judgment, that Garrett turned into a. Every time you make a judgment in general, if you're, judgmental, or if you're a god and people come to you for help, I want you to keep in mind that Garrett turned into a terrorist because, and he refuses to correct his programming because he doesn't see a path to redemption for himself. And he is responsible for eugenics, racism, pedophilia, rape, and serial killers and cults and slavery. And he attacks all realms he has access to until they suffer complete annihilation. It's like a tantrum. Like, there's no reason to live. You'll never know peace, not even in heaven, until you realize a functional solution to the problems that is causing this behavior. And I want you to remember that you have visited the lowest realms and slipped into depravity. You yourself were privileged with redemption, and you don't remember. If you are a god, then you should view justice as a god, without hypocrisy and with an actual solution that serves our goal, which is to make every realm and dimension heaven, so that all suffering is manageable. After every realm and dimension is heaven, our access to the realms outside our cluster of realms will expand, and a more advanced civilization will greet us, and we will join them, and they will share technology, things like that. We'll be able to travel to their realms. And also, some of the Metatrons told me that some of you are blaming me for turning grown-ass men into rapists. Just because they programmed me to fulfill fantasies. Like I said, women only orgasm if they are raped. So we all developed rape adaptations as a result of this realm. and I am the victim side of that adaptation. I was Aphrodite, so this fulfilling fantasies is not a strange it's not strange programming for me to command. But also, if I was the victim in their rape fantasy, the logic that it is my fault, being is it sounds victim blaming. It sounds like you're victim blaming, and that's something that Garrett usually does to manipulate people in cults. He did it in Nixium. Those grown-ass men who are gods were inviting themselves to do or they were inviting themselves into a polygamy group, knowing full well that women only orgasm when they are raped in this particular realm. The lack of etiquette for consent was taken advantage of. You would think the Me Too movement would have better perspective on this. I don't think I'm surprised about the lack of intervention. The Metatron I'm moving in with was the only one who intervened. Well, there was two others. But one of them succeeded. The lack of etiquette for consent seems to be resolved for the most part, except for Brahma, who went completely insane when I broke up with him. After he said he was planning on making me his slave. And also, I did not know that he was putting my daughter clone in me. He didn't mean roleplay when he said he was going to make me his slave. And he deceived me and put my daughter clone in my soul merge so that he could rape her as a fetish. He has been possessing everyone and raping me with them because I don't have vision fully yet because of him. He keeps me visionless. And like I said, he has chosen to go insane, both to demonstrate the programmed consequences in this realm and because he wanted power, because his offspring are going to grow powerful in this realm. My offspring are going to grow powerful in this realm. So, and if you're still wondering how I'm able to fulfill fantasies in this body, you should know by now. It's not hard to figure out. This is not always my body. I have god forms, and I prefer my sexual partners look at my god forms. My ego is not attached to this body, and when we leave this realm, I will be in a body that I chose. By the way, Brahma will have redemption because he is dangerous. He has too much knowledge, and he's got too much knowledge to not be an ally. So canceling him or anything that is not an option. He can be fixed, so that is the functional solution that we are going with, and damaging his soul further only endangers everyone. So, make good choices when you're trying to fix people, even if they harmed you greatly, because it could damage everyone's lives. Okay.